What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a collaboration mixtape between Lil Wayne and Juelz Santana. Basically this product is called Blow and it came out somewhere in 2006. Now if I had to guess, I remember particularly in the past seeing the release date for this mixtape here as far as this fair is going to happen. I want to say it came out somewhere in July, August, or September 2006. It's kind of within the furor of the leftover vibes of Lil Wayne's The Carter 2 and Juelz Santana's What the Game's Been Missing, both from 2005. So it's a good type pitch to kind of get that particular fair. They crested off of the 2006 nest. I want to say this came out particularly around the relative same time as Dedication 2 by Lil Wayne within some of those type pitches, but Lil Wayne was just red hot around this particular time, and so was Juelz Santana. Now, Juelz Santana, I haven't reviewed his 2005 album yet, his most recent album, even after all this time, but What the Game's Been Missing is basically like a classic, had 4 or even 5 singles out there. It was a big deal around that particular time. I remember waiting for quite a while for that particular album to drop the sequel, which was going to be called Born to Lose, Built to Win, but it just never happened. He got into snafus with Cameron and Dipset within some of those type pitch. Not to say full bound Beef and Full Blown, it was just kind of the pitch that it sabotaged his album from coming out. Lil Wayne got to a prison sentence and dropped one of his hugest albums, The Carter 3, and some other ones like The Carter 4, some other classic albums like The Carter 4, pitches like that, some of those type fairs. But it's just within the pitch. Back in the 2000s, this was some dynamite type fair. Just the pitch behind it, that these were two ice cold type folks within the pitch behind it. This is a big deal. Now originally they were going to drop an album called, these two folk were going to drop an album called I Can't Feel My Face as far as this fair is going to happen, but within the particular fair, I don't know if it's supposed to be a mixtape within that format, but basically the concept about it is this particular product here is your I Can't Feel My Face, because there are original songs on here that are not to be found elsewhere. They basically kind of gave you that particular fair. So it's just kind of the concept when folks kind of bicker and are belly aching about the fact that I Can't Feel My Face never came out. I want to say that there's actually another mixtape somewhere floating around out there that's called the I Can't Feel My Face prequel. I was looking around recently and I particularly saw that floating around as well. So there's at least 2 of these. I want to say that Juelz Santana and Lil Wayne did a whole bunch of songs back in late 2005, 2006, some of those type fairs. So it's just in the pitch as far as saying if you look around hard enough, you're probably bound to find some replacement type fairs. And it's simple enough to say this mixtape is a classic here. It's a very low key type one, not as full bound talked about within the pitch behind it, but this is primarily Lil Wayne from his Carter 2, Father Like Son, and Dedication 2 days. This is Juelz Santana from his Dipset days and What the Game's Been Missing days, which is definitely prime form as far as this pitch can happen. A lot of these songs, there's at least 12 new songs on here within the pitch behind it, and all of them have that vicious type of feel. They're easy classics kind of get, and really out of the 20 songs in this particular mixtape, there's only one that I don't recommend. It's Full Bounce. It's easy enough to say this mixtape gets a 10 out of 10. Just to say within it now, there actually is 26 songs on this particular mixtape here. It's kind of within the pitch behind it, but scrapping away the interludes and the intros, outros, all that particular stuff narrows it down to 20, and then within the pitch, like I was saying, there's 19 that I recommend out of the remaining 20 songs. So it's just within the pitch. Now, the thing about it is to say within that fair, out of the 20 songs, there are at least 5 that are to be found in other albums within some of those type pitches, some of these type fairs, Clockwork. These remixes are good though. It's easy enough to give this product a pass because at least a few. It's easy enough to give this product a pass because at least a few of these remixes and repeat songs have some new fairs on there. Clockwork by Juelz Santana has Lil Wayne on there, which he wasn't on the album version. That was from the 2005 album, so it's a good type fair. It's getting a lyrical dynamite like that on there. And Money on My Mind remix has Primary Rick Ross from his Port of Miami days on there. So some good type pitches, some originality factors, which these are low key type songs I just don't think commonly surfaced in nowadays times. Maybe they did more back in the late 2000s, but they're very secretive within the appeal and the overall discretion about them. So it's a good type pitch. But there are at least 3 songs out of the 20 that are repeat songs within the pitch, but these are still excellent enough to kind of get. But it's just within the fair as far as saying Make It Work For You is the same song as it was on Juelz Santana's album. Miami is the same song as it is on the DJ Khaled 2006 album, and Hollywood Divorce is the same song as it was. Now I think Juelz Santana might be in Hollywood Divorce. I guess I could listen to that real quick. But no, Juelz Santana's not on Hollywood Divorce as far as this first can happen. But that is a red hot type song from 2006, one of the last Outkast songs, one of the most recent ones within some of those type fairs. So it's the classic one within those pitches. But that's one that's a repeat song. So there's only 3 repeat songs out of the 20 on here, and then so it'd be basically about 16 out of 20 as far as songs that are new or mostly new within the pitches. At least 12 songs that are full bound kind of new, and there's at least 2 remixes, it's up to 14 out of 20, and then there's actually 2 songs that are kind of more Lil Wayne dedication mixtape type fairs. That would be Blow and Get the Bread, which are both remixes to Rick Ross's Blow from Port of Miami, and then Get the Bread is to 50 Cent's I forget the name of the song, but it's off of the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, and it has Young Buck on there. I'll whip your head, boy, some of those type pitches. So some good type fares with that. So it'd be basically about 16 out of 20 in terms of like the factoid of just like the new stuff that has like the dynamite type factor. And it's just to say these three songs are repeat songs are hits as well. So it's basically pseudo 19 out of 20. So this album's still going to get a 10 out of 10 just with all those blockaded songs. There weren't really singles on this particular product, but just to talk about some of these type here, just from the pitch. I mean, all of these kind of hit. Most of these songs. Now, not every single song is a Juelz Santana and Lil Wayne kind of team up, but most of these kind of are within the fares behind it. But there are some ones like High Definition is a real quality Juelz Santana solo song within those pitches. This feels like Juelz from like his 2005. This feels like a Juelz 2005 album leftover. I'd say just typical kind of DJ drama city flash. This is just like some typical kind of DJ drama mixtape type fare within the pitch behind it. Some good city flash, I'd say, an overall lit type song. So this that sports game type fare, some of that type pizzazz that like Jeezy, Cameron, some of those type folks will kind of do within that fashion. Folks like Outkast, this particular kind of ripped out of 2005, 2006. This feels very familiar within the pitch. It's one of those type ones, kind of like the song "Mic Check" by Juelz Santana. As far as this first gonna have, just typical mixtape type format. Good pitch for that. Rep My Hood is a real excellent type one on here. This has a real syrupy type production, real excellent within the pitch. This feels definitely like a Dem franchise boys and folks like that. Some of those type. It's another particular like D4L. Some of those type folks that I say is like a heroin kind of neighborhood slap to kind of get here. Just low key heater, definitely just like Dem franchise boys. Like I was saying, this overall has some thump about. So just good concept. If you like Lil Wayne on more ringtone type rap within some of those type pitches, and it's the same thing with Juelz Santana. Some good type pitch to kind of get this particular song. Some good ringtone rap type boss within that pitch behind it. How is a nice one. It's another Juelz Santana kind of exclusive good type fare for this. It's like a heroin and gnarled kind of mob deep like grime kind of get here. Just vintage kind of big city malaise. I'd say about this one. This feels really like one of those type ones. I forget the name of the song, but it's the opening song off of 8 Mile. When you listen to that mob deep song, that's one of the more recognizable rap beats that most critics will kind of say within those particular pitches about it. But this is like some good Nightweave kind of get here. So this real sludgy type one has some of that factor, good type appeal for that. Birds Flying High is a nice one within some of these type pitches. Now, this within the pitch, like I would at least say songs like High Definition and Howard Juelz Santana exclusives. There might actually be at least one other one within some of those type fares. I Can't Feel My Face in our Juelz Santana exclusive, but a lot of these, at least 6, 7, 8 of these are particularly Lil Wayne, Juelz Santana team ups. But Birds Flying High is a nice one within that fare. This is a collabo. It's like a droopy kind of red eyes DJ drama soul to kind of get here. Just a basic kind of low key saunter within those pitches. Definitely some goodies music as far as those fares going to happen. There are some real drooping type ones to kind of get for like some hot box type fare within those pitches. Another one that's just like another one that's pretty similar to Birds Flying High would be Two Dope Boys. It's a real snappy type one, but it works. It's like a drooping kind of neighborhood sludge kind of get here. Just laundromat and hot box and whip type music within those tones. It's real drowsy type hit. Just snappy type one, but works within those fares behind it. Excellence within it. I'd say there's another one that's kind of like that here. Rubber Burner is a nice one that has that particular pitch. Now, this has a pretty good T.I. sample on the hook. Really like the appeal behind this. It's like an in-between kind of chopped and screwed kind of evening dredge kind of get within those aspects. It's feeling good, definitely, I'd say about this particular song. Just a traffic bop. It's kind of the pitch behind it. Just that sludgy kind of 2000s type fashion within the pitch behind it. It's kind of the concept of some of that type fare. It's vehicle-centric within some of those type pitches. Just the dredge of like a frustrating kind of day, but just the concept of still feeling good within the same pitch behind it. It's kind of the concept of just like some extra time, some of those type formats to just figuring out what to do. It's kind of within the concept. Maybe just still trying to decide if you're going to get fucked up for the day, visit a Bella, some of those type pitches just within the tone. It is kind of the concept of just having the concept. It's kind of the concept of having additional things to do just within the format. It's like stunt type music, but just kind of in a more saunter type format, I have to say. So it's just some real dredgy type concept, just neighborhood type makeshift just within the pitch, but it's just the excitement of it. This is one where it's not kind of a ruffled day or a bad day, but just some goodness. I mean, it's a good day, but just kind of within the frustrations of it, just kind of the concept of just like just more typical kind of additional fun. Rewind is a nice one. It's like a glissy kind of wide awake kind of night hop kind of. Rewind is like a glissy kind of wide awake night hop embrace kind of get within these pitches. Just 2000s kind of ride around pizzazz that I'd say goes pretty well with Rubber Burn, just a little bit more lively I'd say. Good social romp and dap to kind of give about this particular song. So a little bit of house party noise within the pitch behind it. Just the initial concept of just having some good times within the pitches. Just seeing some house typical type fare. Definitely with some of that hot boxness, but just a little bit more liveliness within it. Just more of like turn up type fashion. There's not really a full bound kind of dance club blitzers on here apart from maybe Rep My Hood I'd have to say within the pitch behind it. But I look after it. it's kind of within the tone as far as saying that these are some type ones that just have a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more, and it's a lot more sleepy, just more smoke factor within the pitch behind it. But I just look at the tone here that these are some good type moments. At least Rewind has a good factor, just having like some good pizzazz, just being a little bit more alert and just kind of having the concept like some jive about it. Another nice one that has some relative kind of liveliness that I'd say is another nice one that has some relative kind of liveliness type factor would be Nigga Like Me. I'd say it's like an in between kind of vintage kind of mixtape Wheezy and Currency. I would definitely say within some of those type pairs, it just feels ripped out of their particular trends that they kind of did with some of those type pitches. 2006 Currency, late 2005 Lil Wayne, some of those type pitches. Carter 2, some of those type pairs, just pitches like that. Some of those type tunes like Fireman, Money on My Mind, some of those type pitches. Hotbox the Whip, definitely just like songs by Lil Wayne, like definitely like those ones like just like The Drought Is Over, Lil Wayne, some of those type pitches, and Mixtape Currency. Juelz Santana, it's a pretty packed song. I like the posse type pitches because there's not terribly many songs that Lil Wayne, Currency, and Juelz Santana are kind of on within those pitches. Just some Lil Wayne affiliates within some of those type of PLs. Good concept there. There's an additional cat on there named Bazelle. As far as those pitches can go, good concept for that, and it's a great song to while out to as far as this pitch can go. Just listen to the lyrics, kind of appreciate it. Just Red Eyes type music, really get crunk within some of that. Definite Whip type music, really get crunk too, just from the aspect, just some good bona fide type blitzing. Hot Shit's a quality one as well. This is more 3-6 Mafia-esque. I'd say it was a good concept here, just good type pitch. It's like a piercing and oozing kind of dark outing sleeves kind of get within these pitches. Just residential hot fun to kind of have for some of that fair snack runs. Definitely, I'd say about this one, just pretty live type one to kind of get within that particular pitch. So just good concept for some of that night type commerce, some of that type fashion. There's a pretty varietized type project kind of get within these pitches. A lot of good drowsy type factors about it. Some good, there is a decent handful like some social liveliness, just neighborhood house party type runs, and a little bit of venue type heat within the pitch behind. But Hot Shit's definitely one of those type ones for just more midnight snack type fair pitches like that. Taco Bell run, some of that just neighborhood sludge and sleaze as far as that weaving, as far as those pitches kind of go. Then Get At These Niggas is some good quality ones, like a razzing kind of out in the neighborhood wind. I'd have to say buzz about this particular song just as far as those pitches kind of happen. Just definite rider type music when you think of Tupac, Outlaws, some of those type folks, Fat Joe, folks like that. I'd have to say Masterpiece, some of those type folks that are typical for like the summer riding. Just like a 2005, 2006 type fashion, that particular stuff, and this is like good for some smoke edge. Yeah, Get At These Niggas just feels like Conduit kind of Carter 2 Lil Wayne within some of those type pitches. Just typical kind of chopped and screwed type fare. Just like Money on My Mind, some of those type pitches. Just adding Juelz Santana along for the ride as far as what's first going to happen. Just excellence within that particular tone behind it. Just vintage kind of mid-2000s mixtape hot as far as those pitches kind of go. It's real heroin just from the pitch. Just a real nice buzz about it. Just real nice riding type music within the pitch as far as that particular cruise round is going to go. So just energetic within the fare behind it. Great smoke tunes to just have some liveliness. Just be alert and just kind of get the enjoyment out of it. And then Bonafide Hustle is a nice one. This is a definite throwback type one. If you remember Lil Wayne from like Father, Like Son, the Carter 2, some of those type fairs, Dedication 2 in certain formats, it's a real nice one. Just having Juelz Santana along for the ride. It's basically like getting Juelz Santana on a song like Money on My Basically like just getting Juelz Santana on a song like Money on My Mind, which there is a remix, like I was saying, that's on that particular album of that song with Rick Ross on there. But Bonafide Hustle is like a vintage kind of murky and chopped up Carter 2 Wayne just in the pitches behind it. Just feels like a leftover from that particular album, which is great within that aspect because that's definitely some more formats that definitely needs more of it than those pitches. Like I was saying, just like Money on My Mind as far as those first can happen. So the same sort of chopped and screwed type fare, feels like a beat produced by the Runner, some of those type pitches. It's real Florida fried pitches like that. Feels like a DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Fat Joe, some of those type folks within the particular fairs about it. Lil Wayne from Carter 2 as far as those fairs can happen. So it's good type tone. And yeah, so that's the concept of these 12 songs as far as those fairs can happen. Just excellence just within the pitch behind it. Just real nice concept of it. I don't know if I talked about I Can't Feel My Face. I think this is the last one I haven't talked about within these pitches, but this is a nice one here. This is Juelz Santana only type song. It's a good nice one. It's like a heroin kind of night bustle kind of get here. Just good taste of like some late Paranoia. I'd say just good song to smoke and enjoy as far as those pitches can happen. So just a concept. Good one to kind of go along with Hot Shit, some of those type pitches. So just kind of the night type Paranoia within the pitch behind it. It's a real kind of brushy and dramatic type one within the pitch behind it. It's typical type fare that you would expect from DJ Paul, Juicy J, some of those type folks just ripped out of 2006, 2008, just that particular fare. So Juelz Santana does a pretty good job with some of those type pitches, considering the fact that he didn't really do those particular songs on his 2005 album. So it's good type fare for that, good type pitch. But yeah, just say once again, this mixtape is a 10 out of 10. Talk about some of these on here, like Clockwork 2. That's just basically good, excellent concept. It's real good look to have Lil Wayne on that particular song because he basically would shred apart that song. It's just it just happens just as you think it would, just with the pitch. Primarily Lil Wayne doing that particular song as it needed to. Money on My Money on My Mind remix feels like another excellent work to kind of get within those pitches as well. This Money on My Mind remix is another excellent one to kind of make work within that particular pitch. This feels like a sequel to Rick Ross's Hustlin'. It's the same sort of pitch as that particular song. Those both came out around the same time, so it's just the same fashion, just a clone to that particular song, and it just hits with that same excellence. Just basically it feels like pretty much like in certain senses, if you hear Rick Ross on this song, you may just think that you were listening to Hustlin' just because of the similarity and the overall hitting vibes. So some good type pitches with those. And the three songs I talked about, Miami, Make It Work For You, Hollywood Divorce, are repeat songs with some good type fashions. Blow, it just feels like Blow is a pretty good remix, having Juelz Santana and Lil Wayne on there, just doing the vibes that Rick Ross kind of pulled off with that CD kind of Miami vibe. So it's a good type pitch for that. Some of that 80s kind of Miami CD neon life as far as this pitch kind of having good type glamour for that. And then Get the Bread is a good type fashion with 50 Cent's I'll Whip Your Head Boy. So it's a good type pitch for that. Just the excellence of that particular album. So this album just delivers in spades as far as this first can happen. Just kind of a treat for like the concept of folks who may have been a part of the crowd that thought that Lil Wayne and Juelz Santana never dropped I Can't Feel My Face, but this might as well be the replacement, the substitute for that particular product, because there are some new songs in there. They hit pretty damn heavily within the pitch. This is primarily Lil Wayne from 2005-2006, primarily Juelz Santana from 2005-2006, one of the more recent projects that Juelz has put out within those pitches. So it's a good type concept, getting two giants just in their prime and not slipping within the pitch as far as particularly having that just hits consistently. So that's the concept. So Social Score is probably going to get a 10 out of 10 as well. Now I would have said, and it's not really as if it needed a single within the pitch behind it, but it's just kind of the concept that you could probably pick out some ones that probably could have had that concept. Like Rep My Hood's a real good ringtone type choice. Bonafide Hustler just feels like a Carter 2 throwaway. Some of those type pitches are left over. Songs like High Definition just feels like a Juelz Santana 2005 single. Rubber Burn is a pretty nice one within that chopped and screwed type format. Some of these type pitches on here. Hot Shit's a real nice one, like a 3-6 Mafia type fashion, some street single type formats, just pitched like that. So it just has plenty of moments within some of these type aspects here. Rewind's like a pretty good type one within the pitch. It just like Rewind's just kind of that lively kind of hood hop type alertness within the pitch behind. So it's just some good type fashions. Definite house party noise and pitches like that. Social kind of cruise around some of that type there. Some venue type heat within the pitch. Just good, just overall festivities like a social kind of delight as far as this pitch kind of happens. So just a lot of good variety type stuff. So yeah, I would say 10 out of 10 Social, just the impact. Despite the fact they didn't have a single, these folks are just prime enough to be able to say that if you do have like just having a high grade taste for some of these particular type folks and like their velocity as far as that particular kind of one, it's an easy enough kind of highlight. Very secretive. I would recommend seeking this out within the pitch just for folks that may not as full blown know about it, because this is not as commonly really seen. I don't know how many downloads they had it back on DAP. I don't know how many downloads it got on DatPiff before the end of its tenure as far as this pitch can happen. It may not have even gotten 50,000, so some good type pitches. I mean, this is actually Lil Wayne. He did actually do this. This is kind of official within a low-key type sense. Very modest and low-key, down low on the tip like that, but this is kind of the concept as far as saying this. Definitely one to appreciate. Juelz Santana did actually do this as well, so it's a good type pitch. So yeah, 10 out of 10 score, 10 out of 10 Social. In terms of the future, like Juelz Santana is supposedly working on something, but it's just kind of here and there. He's been saying that since like 2006, but it's just kind of the concept. Maybe it'll happen, but he has dropped other projects like Skull Gang, the Skull Gang mixtape, and a Skull Gang album. He dropped the mixtape in 2013. He did drop this mixtape after What the Game's Been Missing in 2005. This one came out in 2006. So he's done a number of these projects. He helped out with some Jim Jones album, he helped out with like some Jim Jones albums like the Bad Santa Christmas album, some of those type pitches. And Lil Wayne's working on a ton of stuff. Supposedly the Carter 6 is coming out in the spring of 2025 as far as this pitch can happen. We'll see what happens, but he does have a pretty prolific type schedule. He did drop like a joint album with 2 Chainz back in the fall of 2023. He dropped like the Fix Before the Six, some of those type fairs. So he's had Lil Wayne of course has plenty of these projects loaded as far as those fairs can happen. So it's just excellent. So it has to say easy kind of classic, underappreciated classic, definitely be able to say, but definitely recommendable within a full blown sense.